Praise God, it is 2026 and it's going to be a good year. Hi, tribe. Welcome or welcome back. If you've been here before, thank you so much for sticking around. I know I have been really pretty much MIA for all of 2025. I think maybe only a couple videos got posted. I had to go through what I had to go through, unfortunately, but I made it through. Still, making my way. God's holding me up right there by my side. And here I am. I'm back and looking forward to some awesome things coming in 2026. So, yes, planning is my therapy. Journaling is my therapy. It has been part of what has helped me manage to make my way through 2025, and I am so thankful and still just as in love with planners and journals and stationery and all the things that go with it as I was when I got started a couple years back and found this awesome community. I am so pleased to feel the energy and motivation and desire to bring back the Therapy of Planning channel, and I hope that you will find some inspiration here, some ideas and food for thought, and that you'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you'll know when I post. And I hope that I can just grow the channel and make it stronger. Let's just join together and go through this journey. We are always searching for the elusive planner piece, and I think that we find it from moment to moment, or there's times that we want to make changes, but once we can really identify the things that we need our planners and journals for, or separate the areas of our lives that we want to utilize the planner or journal for, that really helps us. We may change a planner or a journal or a particular way that we do something, but just identifying what we need to be writing down, what areas we need that assistance in, really helps make all the difference. So if you clicked on this video to check it out and see what the Therapy of Planning is all about, it's all about writing it down and how much it helps us out. That is what the Therapy of Planning is all about. So I'm Dr. J, and I'm back today to share with you my 2026 lineup. Now, I tried to do this yesterday, which was January 1st, because I promised myself, that was my New Year's treat. It's just to be chill in the planner studio and setting up planners and making some new videos to get the ball rolling for getting the channel back on track. And I got in here, and I'm in a new space. So as I stand here, there's chaos all around me, even though you can only see this little small part, because I have so much stuff. And it's just like any move. When you move, you're overwhelmed with all the stuff that you didn't realize you had, or you didn't think it was that much until you try to put it in a box and shift it from one place to the next. Then you really get to lay your hands on things that you might not have even seen for a while, or dig out in corners of areas that you didn't realize had so much stuff there, or find things that you hadn't seen for a minute and was wondering where they were. That's kind of the scenario for me as we come into 2026. So today, after recording yesterday and not really liking how that kind of went, I said I'm just going to come in here and take it slow. I feel a little bit more uplifted today, because instead of being kind of overwhelmed by all that there is in the room and trying to figure out what I'm doing with my planners and journals as I try to set them up, today I feel good, because I feel on my way to bringing organization to the space. I'm thankful that I'm in the space now that I can take the time and go through the different things that I have, because I have a lot of things that are probably going to be destashed, because when you first fall down this rabbit hole that is being a planner and journal enthusiast, you just try out all the different things and get so many things. And I've been to different planner events where I've gotten things, and so I have a lot that I need to go through and identify what I will use or what I want to retain that I might use in the future, opposed to things that I know I absolutely won't use. I've really found my groove, I found my flow and my aesthetic, and I have certain things that were gifted to me or I got at conferences that I won't use, or things that I even purchased that I discovered and it's not really my style. So I'm really looking forward to over time, because I know it's going to take time, and I'm fine with that because they're little things, pens and clips and post-its and all kind of stuff, and it's going to take time to really go through them. But I'm just thrilled that I'm in a position now where I can just take my time and go through them. And the more that I get back into my regular routine and planning in this space, the more organized I'll get it, and the more ideas I'll figure out for how to organize certain things. So I'm really excited. Today, I'm just going to go through and show you what things I'll be using for 2026. The areas of my life that I use planners and journals for is not changing, not really much anyway. And I am maybe changing what type of notebook or planner I'm using for that area, but I am still recording, tracking, and writing in a well-identified way, let's put it that way. So now it's only a tweak here or there, or seeing, well, maybe this isn't the best thing to use for this area. I see something else that might work. Opposed to before, I would just fall in love with a planner or a notebook and get it and then try to figure out what to use it for. As it is, because I do have some subscriptions, I do have a couple of things that are extra that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. But I'm going to show them to you at the end, and maybe you can drop me some ideas in the comments below. But for now, let's look at the areas that I have a planner or journal for. My first item is my prayer journal. That's always number one. The second thing is my work planner, which really should be number 3, because I would like to put my personal planner as number 2. Just happened to write it out that way. But I have that. Then my wellness journal, my creative journal, which is really more than one journal, so I probably might need to change this card. A business and planner notebook, a spending tracker, a financial planner, research notes and brainstorming, which this too, the title here should change, you'll see, and an everyday carry. So those are the 10 things that basically I'm using planners and journals for, and I'm going to go through and show you what I did last year and what I'm doing this year, and then I'll be doing individual videos for each of those things, well, most of them, as I get them set up for this year, because I'm not rushing, yeah, it'd have been great to have everything ready to go on the 1st, but I've discovered that this is the moment to do it, to get it ready, to get it going, to be thinking about what's going on for the year. At the end of the year in December, it's the holidays. We're like swirled in what we're doing for that, whether we're traveling, which is what I did, to visit family, whether you're, getting gifts, getting food preparation, doing all these different things. And for the holiday, now this is the time for me. And I think I heard Elisa, I think if I'm saying her name right, Naomi, I think is her name. She said something that held my interest, which was this time of the year, especially where I am, where this is a cold time of the year, right? This is winter, and January, February, March, it's kind of like that first quarter of the year is kind of like the time when I'm more inside. Not that I'm a big outdoor person, but you're kind of hibernating, snuggling. Hygge is a word I think that the Dutch use. This is a time to just kind of cozy in, lock in, and for me, it's like reset. Like get things together in the house. It just kind of been all out of whack since November starts your holiday season, and rushing to get certain things done and completed for the end of year. So now it's the beginning of a new year, and I kind of want to be like spring, right, where the winter time is just things taking a break, a step back, and in the springtime things are blooming, right? So in this first quarter of the year, I'm just going to be focusing on getting things together and what I want to accomplish this year. And so by the time the spring comes, I'll be ready to really get into it, and maybe have gotten some things started, and now I'm just moving forward down the track of these things that I've put in motion during this first quarter. So I'm not saying I'm not gonna have my planner together until the spring, but what I'm saying is that this is a time for me to kind of be inside, to kind of be getting things together in my home, and my planners, like right now in the beginning of the year, I'm off, for a few days, don't have to go back to work for a few days. And so during that time, I'm going to use it to get my planners ready so that when I go out the door and back to work Monday, that's when I'm looking to have things pretty much flowing. And even if there still need to be tweaked here or there, that's okay. Okay. So now that I've been just talking, let's get into it and let me show you what I have for 2026. I am going to kind of take my time in recording, and I'm just going to make sure that I can clearly show you each item, and try not to be, a little lost like I was yesterday. So hopefully you come along with me and it's easy to follow. All right. So number one we said was the prayer journal, right? So last year I was using an A5 notebook, actually two A5 notebooks. Okay, this was the first notebook that I used, and then here's the second. And in this notebook I did scripture writing. Okay, so I would just decorate like a half of page per day, and I would just write scriptures. I sometimes I use YouVerse, which I always read and go to YouVerse every day. But what I really found that worked, that I enjoyed this year, was I read Jesus Calling, and I got a beautiful edition. I should have brought it in here. Like, hold on, I'm gonna get it. Okay, yes, Jesus Calling. I had a small version, a smaller book of Jesus Listens, which I saw somebody else had gifted, one of the people I follow on YouTube, Cami from Pieces of Plans. Yeah, she got that as a gift from, oh gosh, I'm losing her name. I'll try to put it on the screen. But from her planner bestie, she got that. And I was like, oh, wow, what's that? And I ordered it, and I started to read it, and I didn't quite finish it. I wasn't dedicated to it throughout the year. But then I found out that Jesus Calling came first, and I don't remember how it ended up that, or came to pass, that I ended up ordering this. I knew I needed something. I just was searching for something the beginning of last year. It was a hard time, and somehow I ended up ordering this, and it would happen to be like a commemorative edition, and it's just so beautiful. The cover, the feel so great, and it's just really, really a beautiful book. So I was following this for my scripture writing. I was reading the devotion and then writing one of the scriptures that was provided for that devotional. So that's what I did in this first notebook. Then I had the second notebook just to journal in. Didn't do a lot this year. It was a hard year. What I did do really helped me. And so the practice is really great for me. And what I'm going to do, since there's so much still left in the book, I'm just going to keep on going. I'm just going to identify where 2026 starts, and I'm just going to keep on going till it's full. And I also utilized this monthly booklet. And the thought when I got this was that I was going to write down the verses that I needed to read each day. So in other words, if there was a plan that I was following, like now you can go online and find a scripture writing plan, and I would just write down those verses I was supposed to read here, and then this would be my reference for each day. But since I used the Jesus Calling book, I really didn't need that. So I would write the scripture here in this notebook, and then I would write down the verse here. But then after a while, I realized that's kind of redundant. Like, I don't really need it. This was supposed to be for me to know what I had to read each day, not for me to just record what I read each day here. That didn't serve a purpose. So I had ordered one already for this year. So I have an A5 monthly booklet. So that's kind of in my extra pile at the moment. I think I have a way to use it with work, but we'll see. So right now that goes away. And what happened is I was not able to put my hands on another A5 Sterling ink notebook. This is the 272 page. I didn't want to use the 500 page because you can see while I missed a few weeks, I actually missed like all of January because I just was in a bad place. And then there's a few weeks I saved the pages for them, but I still didn't go back and decorate it. And you see that there is still some pages left. So maybe had I done January, then this would be the perfect size because it's only one page for 2 days. So I didn't want to use the larger version of this, and they didn't have these available. And I love this notebook. I love the paper. I love the grid size. And so since I couldn't get it, I kept waiting for restock, and I'm not sure what's happening now. I try to keep on top of it, but maybe I might have missed the restock. I don't know. But right now they're not in stock. So I guess even when I ordered like the monthly booklet and I ordered my TN inserts, the notebook that I wanted wasn't available. So now I realized, let me figure out something different to do because, I want to move on with the year. When they come back in stock, trust me, I'll be loading up on a few of those. But in the meantime, I just decided to take out this Stalogy. This is the A5 Stalogy that I had cut down to TN size. And the one thing that I wanted to do different this year was I really wanted to have dated pages. At the end of the year, actually, what I did was I just had went ahead and dated, I think, let me see, wherever you see these, maybe somewhere in here, I just went ahead and dated the rest of the year through because I felt like if I didn't get to set this up, then I wasn't going to write down my scripture. And I just felt like whether I got to decorate or not, if I just date it out, I can just pick it up and write in it. And even if I decorate it after the fact or whatever, I just wanted something dated. So I looked at it and I thought about they actually have on Sterling Ink site, the N1 that is dated. And I thought about getting it. They have the imperfect one, which usually it's not anything major that's wrong. But what I decided to do was take this out, which I have been holding on to for a while because I love this unique color. And I decided to just go through and date it myself, just the way I did at the end of the year for the other A5 notebook. So I just sat here and I figured that I can get the whole thing for the year dated over the next, probably over this next month, you know, just sitting down watching TV. So I grabbed sterling ink. I had some date stickers. These are really I can't think of the type of sticker it is, but you know, they're real thin, washi type sticker, so that it doesn't bulk up too much. It's already still bulking up a little bit, but it's only in this spot, which doesn't impact all the space that I have here to write. And then I started doing a little decoration for this week. But the idea is that if I have this already dated, whether I have put any decoration or not, I can just still write out my scripture. So I'm going to be using this. I'm not sure about how I'm going to maintain it. Like, I'm just going to leave this in here, I'm pretty sure. Even though I had all these in here. And as we went along, it was getting a little bulked up, but they fit. So that's what I had it like before. So now that I'm taking this out, it's just this. I might change my cover out. I don't know. I have other covers, so we'll see. But it's fine like this too. And then I'm not sure. I have probably a cover that I can put this in too. So it's kind of like, okay, now you got two separate things, but that's okay. I'm happy with this idea. And I'm happy with one half of, well, it's a little bit more, you know, I'm happy with the size and the grid and the paper, and then I'm finally using this. And so this was something I had in my stash, opposed to buying something new. And again, I'm not going to be using any kind of monthly calendar, which also takes some pressure off as far as decorating, because you know, I'm a decorative planner and I love my stickers, but sometimes you just run out of time, right? So we don't want it to be something that pressures us or makes us feel bad when we don't do it. We want to do it for fun and enjoyment, and not be pressured that we have to get it done. So that is what I'm using for my prayer journal, and I will come back in a separate video and show you a little bit more about how the final setup ends up looking, and just, you know, show you as we go along how I decorate it and so forth. Okay, so that's what I'm using for prayer, scripture writing, and journaling. Okay, so next, the work planner. Okay, so for my work planner, I use a half letter. I have it in this gorgeous no-tea cover, which I just changed. I had a different color. I'm going to have a few, probably at least one more color that I want to get, maybe two, at least one. But I have it in the black cover now. I did get it pretty much set up for the year, but I have some things that I need to adjust. So one is that I noticed that I'm really tight on these rings, and I always said I didn't want to have bigger rings, which I do prefer this size, but it's just a little bit tight. So you can see the edges, like, because it's having to fold over a little bit, it's not getting to where I need it to exactly. It looks a little better since I had it closed down, but and I think I'm gonna change this to, I don't know, I think I like it better like this. So I have to figure that out. But anyway, yes, I will be making some changes. I think that I'm going to go for the bigger rings, because I realize that because I do have enough space in there for it. So I did order some other discs, and I also found that I have these on here. This is where I store all the different covers and inserts, but I'm going to need to separate this out, or I might just put the covers like in a basket or something standing up, because it's full and I still have a whole bunch more, because yeah, I gotta go through this and organize it, and I think I'm going to only keep the dashboards and stuff in here, but we'll see. So I may go through and take these off, or like separate this out, or I may just wait until I get my order, but I think I'll probably change it because I do want to get that um, taken care of. And since I need to go through those things anyway, the dashboards and what have you, I think I'm just going to take it apart, and then I'm going to put the rings on my half letter here. Okay, yeah, I'm figuring this out. So yes, I will have a separate video again how I get this finally set up for the year. I did put in the new months for 2026. I keep the whole year of monthlies in here, and then for the weeklies I just keep the past month, the current month, and the next month. So, and then I'll show you my inserts because I have some choices and I'm kind of trying to figure out what exactly I need to do for the weekly inserts. So we'll come back and go deeper into that. Okay. All right. So next, personal planner. And for my personal planner, okay, so next is a personal planner. Now you may notice things on my desk here are a little different than in the first part of the video. That's because I'm coming in and re-recording this section, because for my personal planner I felt like I left a couple things out, which mostly was I wanted to show how I did this in 2025 and how I'm doing it now, which basically is the same. This is my new beautiful Moterm cover, which I received from my niece for the Christmas holiday, for Christmas. And I had one before a couple years back, and it got damaged because I put it next to another cover, and the ink from the leather transferred, or the dye from the leather transferred, and it was looking a little tie-dye. I tried to go with that for a minute, but I was like, no. This beautiful olive just deserves to be beautiful olive by itself. So yes, I'm thankful to have received this for Christmas. And inside are the same inserts that I use in 2025, which are the monthly and both the horizontal and the vertical weekly. So of course the monthly, simply, I just decorated and put down different things for the month. And I had this dashboard. And then for the horizontal, which the reason I ended up with this was something just triggered the fact that I can use this to put to do and to put appointments. I was not really a fan of this long horizontal layout. I like the horizontal that goes across 2 pages, but putting it all on 1 page, I wasn't as big of a fan of it, especially, it's like Hobonichi style. It just wasn't my thing. I tried, Hobonichi, the small one, I can't remember the name of it right this second, before, and just didn't work out for me. But then I realized that I may only have 1 or 2 appointments or things going on in a day, and so I can just put that here, and then over here put my to-dos, because I really like doing weekly to-dos. I don't really do daily to-dos, but just anything that's going on with me that I have, which you can see some weeks is not really anything going on, I can just jot down here. And then in the horizontal, I discovered that I like completely changing that layout. I could just do this in a booklet just for notes, but I discovered that I like having it already set up for the week, because if I don't decorate, I still have the week set up. Like I think I didn't do this last week here in here, so I could still go in. And what I do for this is basically, this is like what I call micro rapid logging. So basically writing down the few things that I did in a day that I need to make note of or keep track of, because I might need to refer back to when I did it, or it helps me situate when's the next step that I have to take in that particular issue, or for that particular issue. And sometimes I'm really good with jotting things down, and sometimes not as much. but I do just like keeping track of when I did something. So this rapid logging helps, and I can reflect back, and I really love setting it up. I used to get a little frustrated with it like this because the um, columns are just a little bit narrow for me. I mean, I could make myself write that small, but I just didn't feel like it just didn't pop for me. And then I also really didn't need the time. So I was a little frustrated trying to figure it out. And then I remembered that I used to do this type of setup in my A5 Hobonichi. And so I was like, oh, I can do the same thing here. And I have fallen in love ever since I did that. Setting it up like this, changing it. It's just enough. It just doesn't take me too long, and it just gives me the decoration that I enjoy doing and enjoy looking at during the week as I record the different events and things that happen. So I have those in here. Basically, I put the to-do, which is the horizontal, in the front. And then I need something to put here because that dashboard that you saw from Sterling Ink was there, which is this one. So I need, well, the reason I want something different is because this has this on the back. But I don't know, maybe I'll cover this up because I like this picture. And it goes good right across from the black. So yeah, I might do that. And then we have the monthly in the middle, and then the vertical in the back. And then I just have some, places to just decoration and place a folder to put things in that I might need to keep with me. And then the very last thing, which I've kept from 2025 because I didn't hardly use any of it, only a few pages, is just a plain 272 page Sterling Ink notebook, and it's numbered. And so anytime I am in here noting the things that I did for the day, if it's something that requires me to take more notes than the space permits, I come in the back and I make my notes there, and then I just notate here what page number I made those notes on. So I love that. And this allows me to write whatever, brain dump, which I more so do in my everyday carry than here, but definitely just to keep notes on stuff in here. So I'll just use this until it runs out, whether it goes all the way into 2027 or what. I'm just going to use it until it's full. So that's what I have in here for my personal planner. It is one of my favorites. I really like the standard TN size. So this and my Discbound planner that I use for work, those are really my favorite planners. I'm not really a ring girly. Yeah, and this just does it for me. And even though it's a little thick, it's just right. It feels good in my hand, and I can slide it into my work bag, and I'm good to go. So that's the personal planner. Okay, so next up is the wellness journal. Okay, so it took me a long time to get to this. Over the years that I've started to journal and use planners again, I went through different things that I've tried different things. I tried, here's an example of something I tried. The standard, I really love the standard size. I would just separate into 3 sections, and the goal is for me to track sleeping, how much I slept and how I slept. Did I wake up numerous times? Did I have a hot flash? What happened? Or was I dreaming? Did I wake up and couldn't go back to sleep? I was having like not as good sleep at the time that I started this, and I really wanted to record and be able to reflect on what can I do to help myself or talk to my doctor about it. So I wanted to be able to see how much I was having different problems with my sleep. Then I was writing down what I was eating because I think it just helps you be mindful of what things you need to change or tweak. I drank soda today, or I ate ice cream, whatever. So it just helps me be more mindful. And then the next thing was like how I was physically feeling. There was a couple of symptoms I was having that I was trying to track. So those three things are things that I wanted to record each day, and I did try it in this, and I liked this, but I felt like, again, it was a lot to set up. I also just wanted to be able to just quickly go to and jot down. I really didn't want to put any work into setting it up, even though, I didn't want to decorate it too, even though there's things that I could use to decorate it, whatever. I just kind of wanted to be able to pick it up in the morning, do what I had to do, like notate my sleep, and in the evening notate what I ate and how I felt. So I grabbed a classic size Happy Planner because I've got a multitude of different ones that I've tried over the times, and I had came away from the classic size, but I said, let me use my stash, and I came up with this, and I really love it. I record my sleep. You can see I didn't do anything here, but this is where I would write down how many hours I slept and describe a little bit my sleep. Like, I woke up 2 times, like I woke up 1 time, I had to turn the fan on because I was hot, or I had a bad dream, or whatever, or I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I was up for hours, and then I went back to sleep right before it was time to get up for work. How many of you guys know that, Okay, so I use this to record that. Then for how I physically feel, I was trying to kind of use my stash, and I redated this old dashboards inserts that I had, and used it a little bit, but not much. Yeah. So I'm thinking about this section and what different inserts I may use. I have a couple of options. For this, I tried to, again, redate something I already had. See, this was something in 2023, and I just didn't finish dating it properly, but I did put the date numbers of the date here. And just basically, I love this vertical because these are really the 3 things every day. So basically, in the morning, coffee, I need to probably put my water up here. I want to track my water because I do not drink enough water. Lunch and dinner, I kind of tend to fast a little bit in the morning, so also I really kind of did want to start writing down a time that I broke my fast, so I could be more regular about that, because that's a problem I have. I'm not regular. Like, I'll one day start eat at 1, one day I'll eat at 2, so I want to get more regular with that. So that's everything that's in here. It's a lot of space for what I'm doing. As you see in that one block, I wrote one thing, coffee, but I'm able to just scribble it out. I don't have to try to fit it nice and neatly. It's just there. It's easy for me to see and look at and review. And this book, because at first I was only keeping 1 month in it, and then I started putting 3. It's still not that thick, and I could just keep it next to my bed, and in the morning I grab it to write about my sleep, and in the evening can grab it if there's any symptoms I want to track. So there's a couple of things that I have that I'm going to use. Again, this is the same one that you saw for the sleep. And then I have these, which is undated, just quad notes. And I'm thinking about maybe using this for how I'm feeling, because if I don't have any symptoms that day, if it's just a fine day, I didn't have nothing ached, nothing was weird, nothing was whatever, then I don't have to write. So here I could just put the date and just, and just use it as I need it, right? So I'm thinking about maybe doing that. But I also have the citrine planner that I picked up because I really love the way it's set up. I really like this for goals, or for what I'm using a mini planner for, which is my business planner and notebook, because I like the idea of each month looking at what I'm trying to accomplish for the month, making a to-do list, making my priorities here, having space for notes, and then my goal is to track each day what I did, because the goal is every day to time block sometime, 30 minutes or an hour or an hour and a half if I can, to do something towards getting my business in order, or anything that I might have to do administratively, right? Tweak the website, order new business cards, make a post, right? So that is good to notate here. And I also have the smaller one, which I was thinking it was going to be the size of my mini, and I was going to use that. And but then just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. So I don't know. I'm starting to get a little idea. So sometimes that's what happens. I set things aside because then as I think about it or as I sit with it, I come up with a solution. So, yeah, okay. We'll see. Here I have Caliber Plans, vertical, and it's great. I don't have to date or redate. So this is the same thing that I'll be using to record what I eat. Okay, so all this I'll Franken plan. And again, I'll make a separate video on that so you can go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you can know when I post the video when I get this completed. Okay, creative journal. Now from here, we'll be able to go a little bit faster. These things are a little bit less, a little simpler as we go. So for my journaling, like I said, probably need to change that card because I have 3. Here's the new one. So basically, I kind of look at this as daily, weekly, monthly, even though it's not really exactly that way, but this is daily. My goal is to just jot down, I don't know, what I was feeling during the day or how the day went, kind of more how the day went. And so this is an A5 Slim. I got this gorgeous cover, ordered from a company on Etsy. If you want to know, just drop me a comment below and I can tell you from which shop because I don't remember off the top of my head. I have a new A5 Slim from Sterling Ink to set up for my journal for this year. Then this one is a little bit more like deeper, how I'm feeling. I don't know, you know, you're going through, you're thinking things, and I just grab this and write. And so this is more that deep emotional stuff, and I don't do it every day. So that's why I said weekly. My thought is really to kind of review my week, how I was feeling. But a lot of times what happens is I'm just thinking about something and I kind of have a little epiphany or, you know, I don't know, just works through something in my mind. And so then I come here to write it down. And then lastly is really the creative journal. This was supposed to be like, okay, keep different, if you read something that you really want to keep remembering, you know, a quote or just a thought that someone shares, I could write it in here. That I would just decorate this and then just leave space, like there's a space here that I can write something. And it's so it kind of is quasi junk journal. I didn't get a lot done in it this year, but I'm looking forward to being able to use it more this year. I have some junk journaling kits from Crafty Planner Queen that I'm excited to use. I'm gonna just keep going like with this and just do a 2026 spread and just keep going until it's full. So this is my journaling ecosystem, I could say. That's the new thing, is it not? But I guess like my wellness journal per journal kind of count too. So, but this is it. Again, I will make a separate video and show you how I get this set up because this is something that I like to use daily. So I'm already a couple days behind, but I'll probably, sometimes I just write a few days in a row. I try not to let that go too long because the idea is to, you know, be able to get things out each day and also so that I remember. So I will get this set up before the weekend is over so that I can start using it. And like I said, this one, it's just, these two are just continuations. Okay, so those are that. Okay, next is the business planner and notebook. And what I came up with that, this is one that I was not ever really clear, like since I came up with needing something for this, I flip-flopped around a lot with what I was using. Because at first I thought I needed something that I could like put appointments in and so forth. Then I realized that the CRM that I use would keep my appointments, because if you book an appointment with me, that's how you would book it, and it would be there. So that's going to be kind of, that's going to be digital. So then I realized I just wanted something that I could do, like I was saying earlier with the citrine planner, which is to just notate what I've done each day towards my business, towards getting it going, like marketing it, and any little tweaks I have to do in certain areas like the website or in my CRM or so forth, that I wanted to be tracking that, and to write out like what things I wanted to work on during the week. So this is a mini planner. It has a combination of stuff, so I won't say it's a happy planner because I've got different covers, Jane's Agenda, cloth and paper, okay. And what I've done is I put in the front of it the mini happy planner inserts, and then using the dashboard layout. And so then my goal was, like I said, kind of note what's important to look at this week, some to-dos, notes, and then to each day jot down what I did that day. Like I went on a website and changed this on the page, or I posted something on Instagram, or whatever. I just want to be doing little things each day, because those little steps add up to big results, right? So this is what I was using for that. And then for each area, because I'll break down my business I'll say I have 3 businesses, or 3 separate things. One is Optimal State of Being, which is individual life coaching. And then I have Optimal Organization Consulting, which is for businesses. I'm pretty much doing coaching for small, medium-sized businesses. And then I have the therapy of planning, right? So I didn't think of that as a business at first, but it is, and I have some thoughts and plans and ideas for it to develop. So that's what I have these sections back here for, to kind of brain dump different ideas or thoughts, or if I see something that I want to refer to or come back to, I can note it here. So I like this. It's a good size to carry with me, because sometimes I go to different events for entrepreneurs, for businesses that are up and coming, and just learn things or get contacts and network. So it's great. This is a Moterm cover. I'm not sure the name of the cover, but it comes with another insert in it that's rings. So I don't really use rings. So even though it's nice, and I saved it around here somewhere, but I like this because the mini fits in here. Probably like a B6 booklet would fit in here. And it just has space for me to put stuff. Like I need to carry these with me for the pen, refills for the pen, and I could put my business cards and stuff in there. So I really like this. I love how the setup came out. And so, like I was saying, I have, where is it? I have the citrine, the smaller one. And I thought when I picked it up that it would be like mini size, but I realized that it's half letter size. It's actually small, a little smaller. The page is a little smaller than half letter, because I thought, well, maybe I can use it in my work planner as inserts. So this is one of the options that I mentioned before that I have for work, but it's a little small for work, like the space available to write down. If I was trying to kind of do a daily rapid log, I think I need a bigger space. Hence the inserts that I did order. So we'll look at those in that video for my work planner that's upcoming. But for now, I have this, and I don't know what can I do, because I think it's great for the business planner, but I really love my mini in the way this is set up. So basically, if I do this, I'll be having another half letter for my business planner and notebook, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm toying around with some thoughts, which I'll tell you in a minute. So let's go to the next thing. Okay, the next thing is the spending tracker. So what I came up with, because there was a couple of different things I went through, I came up with this. I had I think this is Pocket. I think you call this Pocket or Passport. I can't remember which one. I think Pocket is taller, so maybe this is Passport. Yeah, I think this is Passport. Okay, so anyway, I had the planner itself, so I had all these pages in the back, and I wouldn't really use them. They're just a little bit too small for me to like write a lot on. I don't know. And I just had it, like I was thinking maybe I could do everyday carry with it, but just didn't sit right. You know, like these things, like it's like a puzzle piece. When it is right, it just clicks in and you're like, that's it. So it didn't fit exactly right. So then I realized I could just get the booklet where I didn't have all the extra paper, and it's just enough space for me to write down if I brought lunch or if I paid a bill, because I have the finance planner, but that stays at home. So if I'm at work, say at lunchtime, I'm like, oh, I gotta pay this, I'll go pay it, and I like to write it down, like how much I paid and what account I used to pay it, so forth. So this was ideal because it fits here, which is part of, and let's skip and go over to 10, my everyday carry. Okay, so it took me a while to figure that out too, and I have some other options too for everyday carry, but I landed on this one and I've been sticking with it. So I think I'll probably go through most of the year with it, and if I do change, it's okay, because this is just a plain notebook, and it's just for me to kind of brain dump, you know, when I'm out and about, and I think, oh, okay, yeah, let me make a note of that. Or if I want to work something out while away or at work or whatever, then I will utilize this. I can always have this with me. I like always having a notebook with me. I don't particularly have to have a planner with me all the time, because if I'm out and making an appointment, most of the time I'm putting that in my phone, because I need that little alarm reminder that you have that appointment. Because when I look at my planner in a day, like I want it to be already ahead of the game, like, you know what I mean? Like that reminder on the phone just helps too. Even though I have it written down in my planner, I like that reminder, because before I even get out of bed and I'm looking at my planner, ding, 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 something goes off, or on my phone, which I can't show you because I'm recording on my phone, I keep a large widget of the reminder in my calendar. So as soon as I look at my phone, I could see what's up for the day. And then my planner is like, I wrote it when I'm writing it down at that moment, then that's helping for it to sit with me. And then when I'm looking overall what's going on for the month or the week, then I'm seeing it there. Whereas the reminders is like kind of a daily thing for me. So I like having my phone for the planner and my notebook as my everyday carry. Okay, and even this cover, which is the Tragan cover, which is, I think it's from Hobonichi. It has a pocket here, and I have a little thing in here that came out of a wallet I have that has some additional cards, ones that I might not use all the time, but that I like to have with me. I like how it has these different pockets to put stuff and a place for a pen, and it's just the right size. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger than your average wallet, but I love having this with me. So that is my everyday carry and the spending tracker. Okay, so next is the finance planner. Now, not a lot to show here. It's a big, I guess you can say it's a mutt. No, it's a happy planner. It's just it's really a big or a letter size planner. Instead of a half letter, it's a letter size, because you know, I've got different pieces from different places. So this is obviously a happy planner cover. There's happy planner dividers, and I just what I did was I just Let me see what I can show. Oh yeah, okay, here's a good example. The Happy Planner is famous for, here's a divider, and then you have your monthly calendar right on the back of it. I think they're starting to get away from it. I think this year they did like custom, and I think maybe they have some dividers, or maybe there's other companies that like, we have a lot of small companies. Yay, go girls, Kelly LaPlan and Live Love Posh, and there's some others too that are just growing their businesses and coming just beyond the stickers and into the planner realm, and we're eating that up because we as planners know what we want, right? So they are making dividers that don't have anything on the back, so you can reuse them. Like if you really like that particular one, you might want to use it again next year, or you might want to just have a variety that you can choose from. So not forcing us to only be able to use the planner and the dividers, which they make so beautifully, for just that year is great. So what I did was I printed out a month on one page, and I didn't go all the way through and glue it on, but I just kind of clipped it to this. So when you turn the page, you're getting this, and then this is where I can make notes mostly about paydays or what have you, or any other income coming in. And then over here I print out just on a regular sheet of paper. That's why this is a big. I print out all my bills for the month. Like, I'm not really going to show you, but like here's an example that paydays, and on here in one column is the bills, another column is for what bank I paid it out of, and then the amount and the date and all that. So that's really how simple this is. I have these here. So this is supposed to be for my receipts, which I didn't do it right. I put them like in a basket, but I really wanted to put them here monthly. And then my idea was at the end of the year to take them out and put them in a little envelope and save them for tax purposes or whatever. But I kind of didn't do like I was supposed to, but I'm gonna be getting back to that this year, and so I still have to go print out my year, month on one page. And I might change some of these because I have other ones that I've kept, other date dividers. And also, I do want to expand this a little bit because I really need to get into budgeting, my weak points. And I think I follow like the Organized Money, and there's some other people that I've seen, and I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. That's one reason I like the letter size, is because I can just print on a regular piece of paper whatever I create. And so I will create something probably for bi-weekly that can reflect, or maybe, I don't know, bi-weekly, monthly, I don't know, something that reflects income and then expenses, and try to just really work on real budgeting, not counting after the fact. Yeah, because that don't end up good. That don't end up good. Okay, so I am working on it. Pray for me because I need it. Okay, so last but certainly not least is going to be research, notes, and brainstorming. Okay, so like I said, that title could change a little bit in the sense that this is something very specific that I'm researching and brainstorming, and that is my coaching business. I'm trying to go up to the next credential in coaching. So I made this, and as I observe, learn, go through some classes and training, I wanted a separate place to make notes. And again, this is a mini, and it's like got a mixture of things in it. Of course, that's Happy Planner, Jane's Agenda, cloth and paper. So it's got a mixture of things. Now, so between this and the business planner, they kind of both have some research brain dumping, but just about those specific things, which is what I was doing research on some brainstorming for anyway, but it's kind of got separated out from just being in one book, which is how I had it previously. So now I'm kind of thinking, because I want to incorporate this citrine planner, that I may make the business planner the half letter and then use some of my stuff, like merge or put together something different for the coaching, research, and brainstorming. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of disappointed that this, anyway, I'm going to be working it out. Always works out. It's kind of fun trying to figure out how to make it work ideally. But yeah, I will be working it out. But this is what I have that would be considered research notes and brainstorming. It's just for something specific, and some research notes and brainstorming will be in here in the business planner. So that's what I have. These are 10 planners and journals that I am using. Well, I guess it's more than 10 because the creative journal has 2 sidekicks. So, but that's what I'm using for 2026. And hey, I hope that you will subscribe and join my journey as I go through tweaking these things, because some things are great just where they need to be, like my personal planner, and my work planner, and my wellness journal. But other things, like, as you can see, may get a little shifting around, but the areas that I'm trying to utilize a planner and notebook for will remain the same. So I'm going to be breaking these out into separate videos, how I set up, what problems I've come across, or how it ended up looking. So I hope that you have found something interesting with all this rambling that I've been doing, and that you will go ahead and subscribe and join the tribe, and just come back and see how it goes. See what ideas I may give you, and you can give me ideas if you drop it in the comments. And I hope to see you soon virtually by your presence in the views. And I hope that 2026 is a beautifully blessed year for you. Thanks for coming. Come back again. Bye, tribe.